I'm Sarah Skwire with AdamSmithWorks, and this is the Smith Questionnaire.
I'm Brianne Wolf, Assistant Professor of Political Theory and Constitutional Democracy and Director of the Political Economy minor at the James Madison College at Michigan State University.
Hi, Bri. You ready?
Yes.
All right. I have 10 quick questions for you about you and Adam Smith and a little bit of everything else.
Excellent.
All right. You ready to go?
Yes.
Would you rather be loved or lovely?
Ooh. I feel like I like to be lovely to be loved. So, to be loved.
Wealth of Nations or Theory of Moral Sentiments?
Theory of Moral Sentiments all the way. So I usually start with that, and the economists in my class are like, when are we getting to Wealth of Nations?
If Adam Smith had a dog, what kind of dog do you think he would have?
Ooh. I'm not sure. Smith himself was kind of reserved and not the most social, so I definitely feel like he would be a dog person. Maybe his dog would be more social. A golden retriever popped into my head.
What do you think is the best antidote to the torpor induced by the division of labor?
Giving people materials to read so they can educate themselves.
Here's the silly one.
Okay.
Ready?
I hope so.
Do you think that Adam Smith would rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized duck.
Okay. You say that with confidence. Is there any reasoning, or is that just instinct?
Instinct, and the one I thought I could say.
Okay. Solid reasoning. What do you pursue for pleasure that was once followed from necessity?
Reading, I suppose.
Smith, so that leads very nicely into the next question. So Smith says that one of the times that we experience sympathy for people is when we share an appreciation for the same work of art or piece of literature.
Yes.
So what should people read or watch or listen to in order to sympathize with you?
Oh, man. You're going to have to cut it because I'm going to have to think about that.
We can come back to it if you want.
Let's come back.
All right, we'll come back to that one. What does your impartial spectator look like?
A version of me, I suppose. So I envision the impartial spectator as me on my most calm, cool, rational, level-headed day.
Smith warns us that too severe an application to study sometimes brings on lunacy and frenzy. So we'd like to know if we should be worried about you.
I will say that how I complete papers is getting myself into a caffeine-induced frenzy where I can just sit in my office and think only about that and no one interrupt me at their own peril. So maybe in those moments.
All
but
right.
the rest of the time, I like to take healthy breaks, get outside, play with my dog, those kinds of things.
Okay. Can we come back to the question about art and what we might, and literature and what we might take in to sympathize with you?
That's such a great question. For some reason, watching The West Wing comes to my mind and thinking about how ideally I'd like politics to be and for interactions and political discussions to go, a good mix of the ideal and getting things done. But I always say to my students when I ask them to watch that unfortunately I don't think real politics is like that. It's somewhere between that and House of Cards, maybe?
Yeah. Last question.
Okay.
If an afterlife exists, what would you like to discuss with Adam Smith when you get to meet him?
I'm very curious about if the invisible hand is as big a deal to him as we all make it after the fact. So we focus on that. It shows up in his theory. Is he really as interested in that or not? And maybe related to that, I do wonder if Smith is a believer in God or not. Afterlife might be a good place to talk about that.
Good point. All right, we're done. Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but also I don't